It's 2:17 a.m. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. Your chest feels tight. Thoughts spiral. You replay that moment at work, that awkward silence, that mistake over and over. And suddenly, that small failure feels like the end of everything. Not because it's big, but because you're already worn thin. Have you ever felt like you're about to break, not because of one massive hit, but because life has been chipping away at you, day by day, until there's almost nothing left? And you wonder, why do I feel so weak? And how do some people never bend? Modern life doesn't shatter you in one blow. It erodes you. A dozen tiny stressors back to back. A passive-aggressive message, a rejected application, a bill you didn't expect, a delay, a disappointment. And the next thing you know, you're short-tempered, burnt out, and wondering where your resilience went. But here's the strange part. We spend hours working on our physical strength. We hit the gym, track calories, biohack our bodies. We optimize our calendars. We chase self-care. But no one teaches us how to fortify the most important muscle of all, the mind. No one shows us how to train the part of us that breaks first, our ability to endure, to hold the line, to remain unmoved, even when life pushes hard. And so we crumble not from lack of capacity, but from lack of training. But the Stoics knew better. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, surrounded by war, disease, betrayal, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." To the Stoics, resilience was not a gift you were born with. It was a discipline you cultivated. Seneca, one of Rome's richest men, would deliberately fast and sleep on the floor just to remind himself, "I can survive this." Epictetus, born into slavery and later crippled, trained his mind to remain calm while his body was in pain. These weren't acts of masochism, they were exercises in inner armor. Because the Stoics believed, you don't wait for life to go easy, you prepare yourself for when it won't. They trained in discomfort, in loss, in failure. So when real hardship arrived, they didn't collapse, they stood firm. Not because they were superhuman, but because they had rehearsed this moment over and over again. Just like a soldier doesn't wait for battle to start training, the Stoics didn't wait for tragedy to build strength. They turned their lives into a gym for the soul. So let me ask you, what if you could train your mind the same way a warrior trains his body? What if there was a workout not for biceps, but for your capacity to endure? For your ability to stay calm under pressure, to hold steady when others fold? In the next few minutes, I'll show you 3 powerful Stoic exercises, ancient and modern, that will help you build unbreakable inner strength. But first, take a breath, because this won't be about comfort. This will be about choosing the hard road on purpose. Workout 1, the discomfort ritual. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher who had access to luxury beyond imagination, would regularly choose to live like the poor, sleeping on hard surfaces, eating the bare minimum. Why? To remind himself that comfort is a trap, that fear of loss makes us weak. He called it practicing poverty. Today we call it voluntary hardship. So here's your challenge. Once a week, choose discomfort on purpose. Skip the hot shower, leave your phone at home, eat a meal that's plain and humbling, walk instead of drive. Sleep without air conditioning, not to prove anything, not to punish yourself, but to test your edges. Because every time you choose what's difficult and remain calm inside it, you teach your mind, I can handle more than I thought. Discomfort, when practiced, becomes armor. And once you've lived through a hard day by choice, the real world doesn't feel so intimidating. Workout 2, premeditatio malorum, the rehearsal of what could go wrong. Most people fear failure because they never prepare for it. They expect life to follow their script. But the Stoics flipped the script. Each morning, Marcus Aurelius would imagine things not going his way, delays, insults, pain, even death, not to create anxiety, but to weaken fear. When you rehearse adversity in your mind, it loses its sting. So tomorrow morning, before the noise of the world rushes in, close your eyes. Picture the meeting going badly. Imagine someone misjudging you. Visualize yourself missing the deadline. Now breathe. Ask yourself, if this happens, how will I respond with dignity? The goal isn't to dwell in negativity. The goal is to rehearse your strength, to meet chaos with preparation, not panic. Because what scares us most is not pain itself, it's being caught off guard. Workout 3, the 2-minute endurance rule. Epictetus taught that strength lives in the space between impulse and action. In modern terms, that space is where you choose who you want to be instead of reacting. So here's your training. The next time you're uncomfortable in a workout, an argument, a moment of loneliness, stay 2 minutes longer. When your legs are burning in that last set, hold the pose. When your mind tells you to pick up your phone for the 20th time today, don't. When someone irritates you, don't speak, just observe. It's not about forcing stillness. It's about practicing control. These moments are your mental push-ups, your soul squats. And over time, this small act, choosing not to escape discomfort, will build a kind of inner strength that no external force can shake. Each of these workouts is simple, but not easy. That's the point. Resilience isn't forged in theory. It's built in small moments of chosen difficulty. Just like muscle only grows after being pushed to the limit, your mind only grows stronger when it meets resistance and stays with it. Let me tell you a story. In 2020, there was a man who lost everything. His business collapsed, his marriage ended, and for the first time in his adult life, he felt completely directionless. He moved into a tiny one-room apartment, no bed frame, just a mattress on the floor and silence thick enough to choke him. Every day felt like failure. Every night, a weight pressing down on his chest. But then something shifted. He remembered something he once read from Seneca. Set aside a day to live like the poor, and ask yourself, is this what I feared? So he decided to train, not his body, his mind. He started small. 1 day a week, he fasted. Not to lose weight, but to learn that hunger wouldn't break him. Each morning, he imagined bad news, a job rejection, another failed payment, and practiced staying calm with it in his mind. And every time anxiety surged, he stayed present for just 2 minutes longer. No escape, no running, just breath, just endurance. 12 months passed. His business didn't magically return, but his mind did. He rebuilt it, one act of chosen hardship at a time. And the man who once broke under pressure became unshakable. Not because life got easier, but because he got stronger. That's the essence of Stoic resilience. You don't wait for the world to be kind. You become the kind of person who doesn't shatter when it's not. You train your mind like a warrior trains their sword daily, deliberately, with discipline. And if you do, you won't just survive the storms. You'll walk through them calm, grounded, ready. So here's your 24-hour challenge. Pick one of the Stoic workouts, just one. The discomfort ritual, the mental rehearsal, or the 2-minute endurance rule. Do it today. Don't wait until things fall apart. Train now. And if you're ready, if you choose the harder path on purpose, drop a comment below. I choose the hard road. Then hit subscribe. This channel isn't just a place for ideas. It's your training ground for a mind that cannot be broken.